And then the US is, I think US is going to be a little bit more aggressive. They are going to move up here. And then I'm going to use my speed die. He's already used his 3. He's going to come up here as well. And I've got 2 left, so let's move this guy up. And he's going to stay. And that's it of the round 3 maneuver phase. So now we're going to be move into combat. And what you do in combat is you start with each unit and you identify how many people are attacking it and how much damage it is. Combat in the Company of Heroes board game is very simple. So by default, everything in the game does 1, but it may do 1 damage, but it may do 1 of 4 different types of damage. Infantry damage, armor piercing, flame, and high explosive. Right now, pretty much everything on the board just does infantry damage, except for the mortar here. So let's start with this guy. So he can attack. He can. So this German grenadier is going to have to decide if he's going to attack this infantryman or this jeep. So he's going to go in on the infantryman. And so that's the only thing that's attacking the infantryman, so he's going to take 1 damage. He has no cover, so there's no other rolls, so he loses a figure. Next we'll do this guy. So he's got, the US rifleman can attack him, and the jeep can attack him. They both do 1. They both have the range of 2. But let's see here, he has cover based off of this, he has light cover here based off of this yellow. And as long as at least 1 point of damage is coming through on through cover, it triggers a defense roll. So he's going to get a roll die. He just uses an upgrade die. If he gets green or black, he's going to reduce the damage by 1. He does. So he does get to use a little bit of that light cover. So he had a total of 2 damage. Now it's reduced by 1. Damage defense dies, that's usually about it. They don't really stack with each other. You get 1 die if you're in light cover, 2 die if you're in a building, and then there's a few other situations. Like tanks can deflect armor piercing damage from the front, etc. So he loses 1 guy as well. And then he doesn't have anybody attacking him because he already attacked this round. When it gets complex, you'll use these little check marks to show, oh, this guy already fired. Just as when the battle gets really, really intense, it's sometimes nice to mark that. But usually you don't need to. This guy's out of range. And that's it for the damage phase. Every round that you do inflict some sort of damage onto an opponent, you gain an experience. So both teams got some experience. So we're going to take an experience cube and place it in the experience section of their HQ board. Experience is used to unlock your commander upgrade, as well as to purchase various veteran abilities that are identified on the building tiles. Okay, round 3 purchase phase. First we collect incomes. US goes 2 manpower, 2 munitions, 1 fuel, 1 victory point. So the victory point race has begun. Alright, now what are they going to buy? I'd really like to get these Panzer Grenadiers out or this armored car, but I can't afford it yet. But I can upgrade my, let's see here. I'm going to upgrade my Grenadiers with an extra sight and range. It costs 4 or 3 munitions. 1, 2, 3. So sight and range are different stats or abilities in the Company of Heroes board game. So you may be able to shoot 3, but you can only see 2. Or mortars can shoot 3 or 4, but they can only see 2, which means you need to have a spotter. And that means you have to have somebody within sight of one of your allied units has to be within sight of the target. All the spotting occurs automatically. So any unit that's within 2 range of any allied unit can be seen by any allied unit. But we're going to increase this Grenadier. It's +1 sight and +1 range. Alright, so this guy's going to be in trouble probably next round. But we do have a lot of munitions, so we are going to buy the US have very flexible infantrymen, so their upgrade, they can choose between adding a light machine gun or a bazookas. So it costs 5, so it's a little more expensive, but they have a little more options than the Grenadiers. He's going to buy a light machine gun. So he's now going to be doing extra damage. That's what his light machine gun does. So we're going to put this extra infantry damage die in the back of his unit tray. So he's going to do 2 points damage. It's instead of 1. It's a really good upgrade. And that's it for his spending as well. And now we do our caps. I think we got an extra cap right here. So their income for victory points is going to go up another 1. And Germany capped a fuel point. So his fuel income is going to hit 2. And that's it for round 3. So he's going to spend 1 here and flip this guy into fire mode. This guy's going to move 1 space here. Actually, you know what? He's going to move, yeah, just 1 space here for now. And this guy will move 1 space here. Okay, my upgraded infantrymen here on the US, we have a problem. Because in turn-based mode, once this machine gun is set up, and he has firing angles. So the machine gun's firing angles just extend out in the 3 forward hexes. So he's facing this way, so his range is going to be coming out right here. That's his firing arc to the side. They have much wider firing arc than most vehicles. So the thing is he is not pinned right now. That's what machine guns do, damage, and they pin whoever's in their firing arc. He's not pinned yet, but the rule is as soon as I move into a hex that's covered by a deployed machine gun, I'll become pinned. So if this guy moves, he's going to become pinned. And at the beginning of the damage phase, he's going to become pinned anyway. So he kind of charged forward to do damage to this guy. Some of it got blocked, and now he's kind of left in the shadow of this MG42. That's a problem. Let's think about that in a moment. Alright, so let's move up our mortars. 1, 2, 3. These US mortars don't have a really good range in the beginning until you get them a veteran ability. They only have a range of 3. 2, 3. So I can get fire on him, but not this round. Let's move him up. 1, 2, 3. But I won't be able to deploy him until next round. Germany is... This guy's going to spend 2 in order to move into here. Now, regular infantrymen and light vehicles, they adapt so quickly that their facing doesn't really matter in the game. That doesn't have really any impact. They just automatically switch and attack whoever they need to switch. Special weapon teams, however, and heavy vehicles, their facing is a little more important. They move a little bit slower, and once they're set up, like the weapons teams, like it costs a lot to rotate around. So you don't really have to worry about the positioning of your regular infantry guys, but you do with armor and your weapon teams. So that costs 2. We're going to move 1 more here. Alright, so this Jeep has a choice. He's going to be taking some damage from these guys. They're a little bit resistant to infantry fire, but they only have 2 health, so they go down pretty quick. But I could snake this manpower point from him. But he would possibly be destroyed, and if he's destroyed beforehand, before he gets to the end of the round, he doesn't collect this point. So you know what? We're going to get out of there. We're going to do what Jeeps are good at, and that is flanking. So light vehicles don't have to worry about being pinned. So he can go 1, 2, and use his speed die here. He's going to go all the way up here. 1, 2, 3. And I've got 1 more point over here. Let's move this guy up. What's Germany got left? Oh, he's going to move up to take this point. And that's it for Germany. US, he's going to move up to take him. And that's it. Never mind, I didn't decide what to do with this guy. Alright, we're going to move him here. So he's going to go in here, but as soon as he entered a hex covered by a machine gun, he becomes pinned. When you're pinned, it's expensive to move, you can't fire, you can't do any abilities or anything like that. You can move while you're pinned, but it costs 2 CP and you automatically lose a health. So he could basically crawl out of that fire, but I spent all my CP. That was my idea, was to have him crawl out, take out damage, and get out of range of that machine gun, but I don't have enough CP to do it. It costs 2 to move while you're pinned. So he's in trouble. Alright, damage phase. Let's start with this guy. So who's going to hit him? The machine gun is. The machine gun does 1 unit. He pins him, but he was already pinned. You know what? This machine gun is not so worried about him. The machine gun is actually more worried about this mortar that's going to be setting up next round. Just out of range, and he's going to be firing at him. So what we could do is use his extender. So we've got permanent upgrades you can purchase, but you also have a lot of like one-time abilities. So the Grenadier can pay 2 munitions right in the middle of damage phase at any time in order to launch a 2-hex rifle grenade. All of the units have these like sort of one pay-per-use abilities. The machine gun, the German machine gun, can extend his range and his sight by 1 hex. It costs 2 munitions. It's really good. So he can just like extend it just a little bit further and pin somebody that he may not be able to, you wouldn't think could be pinned. But we can do that next round because this is a really bad mortar. Okay, so we're going to do 1 point of damage from the machine gun team in here, and he can't reach, but this guy can. 1, 2, 3. He's got that extra sight and that extra range. So we've got 2 points of damage coming on him. There's no defenses, so there's not really anything you can do, and he loses 2. He's down to 1 guy. How about right here? He's in range of this unit here, who would still do full strength damage. He would do 2, except that he's pinned. And pinned units cannot cap, they cannot attack, they can't use any abilities. So the only thing that's attacking him is this Jeep for 1 damage. He's in heavy cover by being in a building, and so any green or black symbol is a successful cover, and any red symbol is a fail, so he reduces that 1 damage by 1, so he takes nothing, so he's great. In the previous video I just shot, I forgot that these guys were pinned, so they did some damage to them, but they don't get to. They're pinned, they're cowering, like cowards. I would too. They hit the deck. It's not cowardly, it's just smart. Anybody else taking damage? No, that's it. Okay, so for purchase phase, US goes up 2, 2, 1, 2. They're up to 3 victory points. And Germany goes up to 2, 1, 2 fuel, and 1 victory point. Actually, I think I was, I should actually be, I was supposed to go 2 munitions. Alright, what are we going to buy? I love all the things you get to buy. Between the next round, I'm going to start making choices on my commander cards. This slot here is for your commander card, and that starts to unlock sort of your specialty as a commander, specialty units, that type of thing. But it takes experience to upgrade it. Oh, and we get experience. So we both did damage. So we get 1 experience each.